Hey YouTubers, Robbie coming to you guys here with a current format deck. As you can see in the headline, it is Tier Elements. So we'll get into the deck profile. It's a really weird build of Tier. It's not Grass, it's not Lightsworn, I don't own Fiendsmith cards, so no Fiendsmith. So it's weird. We'll get into it though. So 3 Rhino Heart, kind of like the bread and butter of the deck. The 3 one-ofs, I can't much say else about anything else about them. They're just broken. Then 3 Tier Cash. This is kind of the bridge card between a lot of the decks, so we'll get into that next. We've got 3 Fenrir because it searches this, and we have 2 Unicorn because it helps normal summon this or summon this from grave because we play Birth. So it's a lot of cash cards. But what I've learned is like, if you're playing against like the jellyfish cards, like these cards are just really good into them, because like you get to like look at their extra deck. If you get shifted, you can just like end on these guys and then just like, I mean, hopefully you're not playing against Tempai and they Raigeki you, but if like you get shifted, you can just like kind of like hold back your cards and conserve your next turn play with everything else. So yeah, I don't know. It's been testing really cool. I like it so far. Then we have the 2 Unchained cards. I might actually bump this guy up to 2. These cards are insane with the synergy with the rest of the trap cards in the deck. And you make Caesar before you do anything else. So it makes you kind of like Nibiru proof if you need to. Yeah, these cards have been testing really good so far. I can't say much else about them at the moment, but yeah. Then we have the 2 Shufflers. We have the Tortoise, and we have Night End Serpent. So these are like our like little flex spots for like options. And the Shufflers are just too good not to play. Then we play 3 of the Field Spell, 3 Scream, and 1 Heartbeat. I wanted an engine Spell and Trap Negate or Destruction that also has just a good graveyard effect. So we'll put those 2 aside for a second. Then we have 1 Planet Pressure, Race Saw, whatever, 1 Birth. This is Interruption on top of just like being able to summon Tier Cash or your other cash, or just insane. So good card in general. And then we have both Foolish cards, just 1 and 1. You have a lot of good targets with this card, so it's just like, why not play 1? 1 Terraforming, and 2 Talents. That way if your opponent does do something to you, you can at least either see their hand or draw cards or steal cards. It's just, yeah. And the trap cards, we have 1 Meta Noise, 3 Solek, Rainbow Bridge, Triva Karma, and 1 of each of the Unchained cards. These I'm just starting to test with, so like they're new to me, but they seemed really good in theory because we can do a lot more with those cards when it comes to like link climbing or making exceed plays. And they're just good cards in general. And then like, so what I think is really cool about this deck is at any point you have any one of these cards, and if you draw either of them, you have so many different effects that have value between them. So like any one of these guys, you have so much like searching or just an effect to like gain to benefit off of them. So I felt like those were the 2, like the small engine that I thought was pretty good in the deck as it is. Now the extra deck isn't that normal. There's a couple of normal cards in here, but like the idea of the extra deck is like you don't use the extra deck a lot if you're being shifted or jellyfished. So like you try to go into plays where it's like it's going to interact with your opponent's cards on their turn as much as possible, like per usual. But like you can go into like a crazy board of just like whatever they put out, you can take. So like the idea behind this extra deck is like I'm taking your cards. So we'll get into it. Sorry about the cars outside. So these are the only fusions I play. I didn't feel like any other fusion monsters were necessarily needed. I thought about Winda and like 1 Shaddoll Beast in the deck, but like other than that, like that's it. But these 4 are like the 4 necessities. Then we have Caesar, Bahamut, Toad, I am playing Shingra Era. I think this card's really good because, like, if you get shifted or, like, you're going against somebody and you open just, like, a bunch of blanks and then, like, Scream. If you open, like, Scream, Soliak, Fenrir, or, like, I guess it's Unicorn, Fenrir. Yeah, whatever one of these, like, combos. You can make the Shingra Era and then, like, summon, activate Scream, set Soliak, and then, like, summon Tear Cash on their turn, milling you 6 cards and having a gate with this available. I thought that, like, using your extra deck, if you're bricked up on just, like, the cash cards to make this, or just, like, being able to turn Soliak live easily and play on their turn is just kind of nice. Now the Link monsters, that's it for Exceeds, nothing else. We have IP, SP, Blue Dog, Unchained Dude, Moon Goddess, Unicorn, and Underworld Goddess. So this can make this, or this. So, like, you have options here to make off of just the dog, which is kind of crazy in my opinion. And then you have this. If you do, like, these two into this, it's a lot of pressure just stealing their cards and using their cards to, like, link up into things that you want. It seems really, really strong. I think the card I would consider cutting first is probably this one, just because it's not necessarily, like, the most needed. And if I were to cut it, I think I would cut it for the Rabbit and play the Azuran statue. But I didn't want to go above 42 cards. And I haven't really tested these cards out enough yet. So I thought I would give this a shot first and see how I felt with it. So far, like, the craziest of end boards you can end on in the deck is just, like, let me back this up a little. Sometimes you end with these cards, sometimes you don't. If you don't, that's fine. And then, like, where is it? Birth. If you open the absolute crazy stones and go uncontested, you can end on, like, this, this, and then, like, this. You try to end on, like, that kind of board. Sometimes I've ended on, like, a little crazier. Oh, and with Toad. So, like, this is the absolute craziest end board, which, like, you've got negates, negate, mill, summon, spin, negate, use their monster. Yeah, so you've got a lot of choices of, like, what to do here. And then, like, this can make you, like, this, or this, which then you can link off with the IP into SP on their turn. So, like, you have a lot of interaction. You just kind of play at a very steady pace. Like, the name of this deck is, like, Steady Tier. So it's just, like, a constant, like, you're doing things almost all the time. But I haven't really thought around with the Rabbit card just yet. But honestly, I think the cash cards and the Unchained cards have really, like, been overperforming and aren't, like, looked at in a tier deck. I know a lot of people, like, shifted to tier grass, and I tried building tier grass at first, and I was like, this is just awful. So, like, this hand's not the greatest, but if you can get this to resolve and then, like, Foolish for the Unchained guy, like, you're able to, like, do plays. I think that's what I like about most of the hands, is you're able to do something every turn. Like, this hand is really good. Especially because it's like, you have Foolish, you're able to, like, Foolish the Tear Cash, get the spell, which is, like, already a lot. Mill 2 cards here. Oh, now your birth has like choices between, you could special this back and then like search the other tier cache, banish the other tier cache, mill 3 more. And you have a Scream now. So like, you have a lot of options here, and you still haven't normal summoned yet, so it's cool stuff. That being said though, guys, this is just me putting out a bunch of current format decks, and that's about it. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.